Hello, hello. This is Professor Ohenewah tuning in, and I just wanted to say the following because it has been on my mind for some time. We as women, we don't actually love men the way that we think we do, right? I think that what we actually love is this fantasy version of a man, this conception of a man that is grounded in the notion that he be a provider, a protector, soft, nurturing, sweet, vulnerable, communicative, honest, charitable, right? Insofar as a man is performing for us and embodying these characteristics, right, and giving to us, right, doing for us, this is the extent of our love for men, which, to be honest, is not actually love, right? The kind of love that is saying that in order for me to actually love you, I need you to be more like me. That's not love. In fact, that is conquest. That is coercion, right? Because what this is actually saying is that we don't love and accept men as they are. Love is fundamentally about understanding, right? Understanding another person. But most of all, understanding yourself. If you don't even understand and accept yourself, how can you understand and accept another person and therefore love that person? That's just not happening, right? So I think women, we actually genuinely need to sit and ask ourselves, right? Sit down and ask ourselves, what is it that we are wanting from men, right? Why do we want men to be this way? Why do we want men to be what we want them to be? Why are we so invested in changing them to be more like us, right? Where is this coming from? What is it about? Genuinely, what is it about? And I know that a rebuttal is, oh, well, men and women are actually no different from each other. That is not true. That is not true. Men and women are very different from each other. And that is okay, right? We can be okay with that. Neurobiologically, psychologically, physically speaking, men and women are different from each other. Scientific studies do show this. And yes, the differential between men and women, on a genetic biological level is marginal. However, that marginal difference is still everything. It still accounts for the differences in behavior that you see in males and females. And that matters. That actually does matter. And so if our premise for changing men is, oh, well, they're exactly like us anyway, that's a very weak premise that we need to dismantle. Because if we don't actually start understanding men and accepting men as they are, right, it's only going to further the chaos and discord that already exists between men and women. We need to be careful with that, right? So, again, let's self-interrogate. What is it about men that we are actually wanting, right? What are we actually seeking from them? Because I would argue we don't care about the man himself. We care about a fairy tale. We care about a fantasy. And the thing is, men actually know this. They actually feel this. They know that we don't accept them for who they are. Because if we did, the entire game would actually change now, wouldn't it? But that's a story for another day. But again, women, right? The love that we are looking for actually exists within ourselves. It can only be found within ourselves proper. We shouldn't be seeking it outside of ourselves, right? Man or woman, or anyone, really, right? We should search within and cultivate within, because once we actually develop that love of self, everything else opens up and falls into alignment. So, food for thought for today.